Live, going live, going live. Let me know when you can hear me. Might need to mute that in the background actually, thinking about it. There we go. Going live now, going live now. In the background actually, thinking about it. Right, muted that. How's it going? Alright. Let me tweet the stream out. Copy. Oh. Oh shit. Let me get Nightbot in, and then we can get cracking. Get going sooner rather than later. Ah, good. Nightbot's in. Nightbot's in as well. That's what we like. Now, yesterday we did the. What do we call it? Malaysian Grand Prix. There we go. Well done, Ches. Words. We did the Malaysian Grand Prix yesterday. Today, let me just check that the YouTube video's gone live before we jump straight in. Oh, it's on its way live. Fine, fair enough. Today, we're going to be doing the Chinese Grand Prix, obviously. Cheers, Cal. Appreciate that, bro. Let's make this full screen so I can actually avoid any frame rate lag, etc. Video mode, full screen, and confirm. Really? Shanghai's your least favourite track, is it, Jonesy? Why is that? Why is Shanghai your least favourite track? I can't say as it's my favourite track, but it's still a decent circuit. It's definitely not the worst. We're currently 4th in the constructors with Force India after a couple of very good results in Australia and Malaysia. Yeah, this will get posted on ChesnoidPlays soon. Over the next few weeks, though, it might take me a while to get the videos out because obviously I need to find the time to stream it. I mean, time to edit it. But yeah, it is a shame that they took out the fact that you can't be your own driver. There's a real lack of customization actually when it comes to the championship mode. Like if you do just a quick race weekend, you can individually set like the length of your practice sessions, what sort of qualifying you want, and the length of your races. Whereas when it comes to championship season, you can only select from 3 presets. And I wanted full practice sessions and full normal qualifying, but only 50% race length. But you can't do that. You can't edit it. You have to have, if you want full qualifying and full practice, you have to do 100% race length, which obviously I don't really want to do. I mean, I'd love to do, but it would take too long for me to do on stream. In previous years, I've always done 100% race length. But obviously, with streaming it, etc., and having to go through practice and qualifying as well, I can't stream for like 3 hours a night because I simply just don't have the time, unfortunately. So we have to do short qualifying, which sucks. Half a practice session, which also sucks. and 50% race length. But we're sixth in the drivers. We obviously finished 7th in Australia after qualifying 11th, and then somehow after somehow qualifying 5th in Malaysia, and then really struggling with tyre wear, like properly struggling with tyre wear in Malaysia. We were still able to finish 5th overall, but we had to rely on 2 or 3 retirements in front of us. Otherwise we probably would have finished around about 8th or 9th. But still, we'll take it. We'll definitely take it. We're 6th in the drivers, ahead of Felipe Massa in the Williams, ahead of Ricardo in the Red Bull, and Daniel Kvyat in the other Red Bulls, all the way down there with only 2 points from in 2 races, which obviously isn't good enough really for him. I really like it, Sunil, to be honest. Switch back to full screen mode. I just had to time someone out that was being a dick. We'll switch back and then we'll jump straight into... I just want to let the stream fill up a little bit. I don't want to jump straight in, otherwise you get people that join and then they obviously miss out slightly because they aren't here in time. So I always give it at the beginning of a stream 5 or 6 minutes to make sure that everybody can get in, so that nobody misses out, or people, you know, we minimalise the amount that people miss out. Appreciate that, Matt Man, thank you. Yeah, teammate Sergio Perez is down in 15th in the drivers. Quite a few people actually that haven't scored points. Although Jenson Button does have 8 points and Fernando has 1. But let's jump in then to the Chinese Grand Prix. Obviously race settings we'll leave as they were. And assists it should have remembered, and it has. So let's jump straight in then to practice at the Chinese Grand Prix.
Welcome to the Shanghai International Circuit for today's practice session. The time is just before 10 in the morning and we should soon be seeing the first cars leaving the garages. This is a popular location for many of the teams. The circuit is extremely demanding for both the drivers and the cars, and that makes it a very exciting place to race.
It's certainly a track that's liked by the drivers, providing a good set of challenges when racing. It has 2 long straights that allow for great overtaking opportunities and a very complex 360-degree right-hand corner combination just after the start-finish line. It's a circuit that really has a bit of everything.
Max Verstappen was a record breaker at the Australian Grand Prix by becoming the youngest ever F1 driver to take to the grid. He beat Jaime Alguersuari's previous record of 19 years and 125 days.
It shows the great potential that they believe Max has to promote him so early. I'm sure he'll be eager to repay their faith out on the track.
Roman clearly didn't want to be shown on camera, pulling his vice down a little bit. I'm not sure what sort of setup to run here, because it is quite a twisty back section, but then obviously you need the pace for the 2 long straights. We'll see how we get on initially with just the normal setup, and then if we need to alter it slightly then we will do, but we have an extra set of options obviously for qualifying. Got 5 sets of options and 4 sets of primes, so we will go out on an option.
Let's update the setup.
And we'll see how we get on out on track. We'll drive out rather than go straight into a flying lap. So obviously it helps to get a couple of practice laps in, feel the track out, see what condition it's in before we jump straight into qualifying to try and sort our grid position out. Nobody else coming out behind us in the pits. No, there's a Toro Rosso coming out as well. There we go. So it's the soft and medium compounds for China, rather than the soft and super softs, or medium and hard. So the yellow striped tyre is the soft compound, and then the medium is the white stripes compound, the harder of the two that you use at this circuit over the course of the weekend. We're going to have to be wary of our tyre wear again here, because it is quite harsh on tyres around China. All these fast sweeping turns.
Okay, here's something to remember about this circuit. It's really hard to wrestle a poorly set up car around here. There's only one line through a lot of the corners, and the penalty for getting it wrong is really harsh. Stay on the racing line and gradually build up your confidence. The team are ready to make adjustments, so take your time getting a good balance in the car.
Okay, I will. I was just altering with my volume there, which is why I went off the track the previous corner. We've only had one session where it's rained so far, and that was practice at Malaysia. Everything else has been in bright, glorious sunshine, which has soothed me down to the ground because I'm not as confident in the rain whatsoever. We'll go for a first flying lap of practice, and we'll see whereabouts we can put it in the standings. Throw it into this first right-hander. Such a really, really hard corner to master, that first one. It's almost a full 360 degrees you go round by the time you come out into turn 2. We are catching the car in front. I'm not sure what car it is. Looks like a Toro Rosso, but I might be mistaken. No, it's a Lotus. It's Maldonado. I saw the red wing and thought Toro Rosso, but it's the, oh, got that line wrong. It's the red wing of a Lotus instead. We are catching him though. Still didn't quite get my braking point right for that corner.
Okay, just so it's in your mind, if you have us make a setup change and you don't like the feel, don't hesitate to come back and undo it. You can save any setups that you like from the tablet, or you can always use one of the presets the team has built from our simulation data.
Oh, Pastor, you're going to have to go quicker than that, Sunshine. He's on the... Is he on the harder tyre as well? That might be why he's going a little bit slower. Throw it through there. Use DRS and slip into his slipstream, and that's put us P2 behind Rosberg. Wow, that was a very fast lap time. Faster than Valtteri Bottas in the Williams. I'm just going to ease off and try and save the life in these tyres then. If we know we're already quite fast, then we may not need to do many more practice laps at all. We might be quite comfortable to jump straight into qualifying. Just look after the tyres just in case. I know we've got 5 sets, but you never know what's going to happen in the race. See the Toro Rosso coming, so I'll get off the racing line once we're through here. Pull off to the left so you can go through. I want to hold anybody up on their fast laps. Go on, Carlos. Lewis Hamilton's just gone fastest, so that's us down to P3, but we do seem to be quite fast around China, apparently. We'll use DRS. I'm going to pull off straight into the pits here. And, well, we'll follow Carlos Sainz in, shall we? Obviously, where Lewis Hamilton effectively lost the 2007 championship by going off into that gravel trap. Still P3 though, only 0.4 of a second, or effectively almost 0.5 of a second behind Lewis. I think once we've done this season on Expert at Force India, I might try the Pro Championship, which is Legend AI and all assists off, with like one of the faster cars, like a Mercedes or a Ferrari. But we'll finish this season first, because I'm really enjoying being here at Force India. The track's still not that busy. It's going to get overcast in 20 minutes time, as you can see on the weather in the bottom right, but it's not really going to affect anything. Even the track and the air temperatures aren't going to drop that much, if at all. So I'm sure it'll be fine. What's the best finish so far this season? Best finish so far on Wolves is 5th in the Malaysian Grand Prix. We finished 7th in Austria, 7th in Australia, and then we finished 5th yesterday at the Malaysian Grand Prix. We are still P3 behind those two Mercedes. It's very close between ourselves and Vettel. I'm sure Kimi will improve as well. He's on an outlap right now. Can ride on board with him actually. He's just coming onto that really, really long straight. I'll watch Kimi go round for his flying lap and see what sort of time he puts in. He is only on the prime tyres though, so that might have something to do with why we're so high up. I didn't actually check. Everybody else, you can't actually see, can you, what lap time these guys are doing their tyres on? Or what tyres these guys are doing their lap times on, rather. Saying it backwards. I mean, what?
The track is busy.
On their outlaps. See, everybody appears to be on the prime tyre, so that'll be why we're a little bit quicker. So it's a little bit out of sync with everybody else, our position right now. So we should be dropping down the order, you would think, if/when they switch onto the softer compound. We can view it in any camera angle we want. That's what it's like. This is the view we'd probably have. I think I'd like to do the pro season thing with no assists on Legendary, but I think I'd like to do it as Kimi. So this would be the view that we'd have in that mode. Obviously, it forces cockpit cam, and you have all assists off, and Legendary AI. Even in the middle of that corner, he was still having to like counter steer left whilst still going right. What's his lap time like compared to ours? 28 to 30.6. I can't remember what our sector times were. 212 miles an hour through the speed trap though, which is pretty damned quick. What lap time did we do? I can't remember. It was 145 or something, wasn't it? We'll see what. It would have been a 145. As he's about to do a 141 across the line, 141.4. That puts him still 5th. He's moved up there. We did a 141.1, but with ours, like I say, on the softer compound, and everybody here is doing their laps at present on the harder compound. You can see the white stripe tyre. Is anybody on the softs at all? Everybody is on the primes. Strange. I would have expected at least some to go out on the softer compound. Stuck behind a McLaren here, Sebastian. No, that's not McLaren, that's my teammate, lol. let's advance the time a little bit, actually, then. We'll advance the time, because I don't think we will need to go out again. I'm quite happy with my knowledge of this track. So I'm quite happy to just jump straight into qualifying, I think. It's at tracks like Mexico and Russia, etc., where I'm going to need to... Although, to be fair, when I was doing the time trials, etc., I felt quite comfortable around Russia. That was quite a nice circuit to drive. But some of the latter rounds of the championship, I'm always quicker in the opening few rounds, and then slower in the towards the end of the season. Nobody else... Is anybody going out... Nobody appears to be going out on the soft compound tyre at all. They must just be saving those for quali. Everybody's still on the primes. Nobody on the soft whatsoever. All white striped tyres. Fair enough. Well, we'll just leave it as is then. I don't see any point wasting tyre life by going out again. The objective is to finish 11th in practice, and well, we're 3rd. But again, everybody else is on prime tyres and we're on options, so the lap time is going to be a lot different. Everybody but us out on the circuit right now. That's the end of practice. We are going to finish 3rd.
For the Mercedes team as their drivers take P1 and P2 in today's practice session.
You see, I really would have expected Daniel Kvyat and especially Felipe Massa with a Mercedes engine on option tyres to be a lot higher than P8, but again, I guess you're not really too sure what sort of fuel levels they're running. Checo's really low down. Sergio Perez is really slow here in China. Again, unless, again, obviously he might have been running a lot more fuel to get some more data for the Grand Prix.
It's Saturday afternoon here in Shanghai as the cars are preparing to go out on track to begin qualifying for the Chinese Grand Prix. One of the big changes on this year's grid is Fernando Alonso, who's left Ferrari and is now back with McLaren.
Many people would never have thought Fernando would go back to McLaren after the volatile year he spent there in 2007. But back he is, and he'll be wanting to make the most of their renewed partnership with Honda.
So the track's colder. It's overcast at present. It is going to get a little bit warmer towards the end of the session. Obviously it's only an 18-minute session, so it's not really going to be... Well, we don't need those forecasts for like plus 20, plus 30, plus 45 minutes. No, I might actually go out on the options that we've already done. Like we've already done laps with. If I can, I can't. That set, we had a set of options and a set of primes just for practice, evidently. So we've got 4 sets of options for quali in the race and 3 sets of primes. Well, we'll go out on a set of options then. We'll follow the Red Bull out and the Ferrari. It's going to take us a while to actually get out now that I've said to go out. Try and find ourselves some free space on the track, so that we can have an uninterrupted lap. There are a lot of people going out right now. I might let Carlos Sainz go in front of me.
Nice and smooth on your way out, please.
Come on, buddy.
To save the grip for the flying lap, make a space and watch for traffic behind you.
Yeah, I'm making a space. I'm going to wait until the end of this train. You see those 3 cars behind me? I'm going to wait till they've gone past, and then we'll have loads of space for a lap. So I'll just hang right and stay off the racing line. Yeah, Lewis go through. We could probably chase Lewis because he's going to be faster than me anyway. But now we've got some space behind us to open up. Tyres are going to be cold, but we can warm those up towards the end of the lap. Now we have enough space for an uninterrupted qualifying lap. The objective is to qualify P11, but judging by our... But again, I'm not sure what sort of lap times the rest of the field are going to do on the option tyre, but judging by our practice pace, we might be able to qualify in the top 7 or 8, maybe. Trying to get some heat in the tyres. Get this final corner right so that then we can fly up the straight. That was much better than we did in practice. DRS open, obviously, to fly down the straight. Take as much advantage as you possibly can. I didn't see actually what compound of tyres the CPU was on. I don't know whether people are going out on options or whether they're going out on primes. I presume they're going out on options, but I thought people would go out on options in practice and they didn't, so I really don't know. Track's going to be quite cold though because it's overcast, so it will take a while to warm the tyres up properly. Although we seem to be, yeah, front right's a little bit cold. A couple of long sweeping left-handers will warm it up nicely, there we go. This is on Expert AI, Enigma. We're catching the Marussia, as you might expect. That's why I wanted to leave a bit of a gap, because I knew we'd catch the Marussia. Rosberg's done a 1:39.2. What was it? We did a 40.1, wasn't it, in practice? We didn't get, well, we only did one flying lap, but we didn't get down into the 39s at all. See if Lewis puts a faster time in. No, he did have traffic though. Get around there, open up the DRS. Shortest run to the line of 42.8. We're behind Felipe Nasr in the Sauber, so we know that we definitely need to go quicker really. Hopefully it's a dry race. I really don't want a wet race here in China. Are you going to let me through, Roberta, because I'm on a flying lap? Or no, evidently not. Okay, cool. Cheers, buddy. That's one thing that I've seen mentioned quite a lot actually on YouTube about this game. When you're in practice and qualifying, the AI just takes no attention. Like in the race, they're brilliant, but in practice, they pay no attention to you whatsoever. It doesn't matter whether you're on a flying lap and whether they're on an out lap, they will just not get out of your way. Now we're going to have to pit for a new front wing. No point using DRS. So you can see the end plate on the right hand side has come off where we brushed the wall. I have a new front wing, please, boys? See him on the right hand side and the left hand side, just putting the effective hair dryers on the brakes to cool them down. Still P7 though. See what everybody else is doing. Checo's a lot quicker this session, at 10th. He's up in 10th. And everybody's on the soft compound now. We'll wait for the track to thin out a little bit. And then I'll go out again. Actually, what's the state of those tyres after we had that incident? Oh, only 11%. We'll be alright to go out. I mean, we'll be alright to go out on them again. I just want to wait until the track, till there's a bit more track space. There you go. We'll go now. Oh shit! I selected flying lap rather than drive out lap. Never mind. Still P7 though.
Sergio's in P10 at the moment.
Tyres are cold though. We've got a Marussia behind us, so that's not going to be a problem. He's not going to catch me whilst I'm on my lap. There we go. A lot of people in the pits. Obviously the track evolution will take effect throughout the session as we get towards the end, but I'd rather get a lap in now than risk getting caught up in traffic when we need to put a lap in to improve. So I don't mind doing a lap with 5 or 6 minutes left and then going back to the pits and just seeing what happens. I'm braking a little bit earlier for that. I am braking a little bit early for that turn, so bear that in mind. There are 2 cars on the track ahead of us, but we're nowhere near them. Oh, that's wide. That's wide there. The DRS line is so far down this straight, but there's still so much further to go. Such a long straight. It's like a full kilometre from start to finish. Well, that braking zone pretty much perfect. Didn't carry too much speed around the apex though.
We've dropped down to P8. Come on, keep pushing.
No, Grozon, how dare you! This is going to be a slower lap, I think.
We're sitting in P8.
Well, it was slightly quicker, but we know we can go faster. We'll see if we can put some purple sector times in on this lap. Tyre wear's not an issue yet, even though these tyres are slightly old. Yeah, we thought we could brake a little bit later there. That's much better, that's faster than the previous lap. Although it wasn't a purple first sector though, which isn't frustrating. To the right hand side to swing it through here. I'm a little bit wide on exit, but never mind. Oh, I got that wrong. Never mind. Come on, car. Give me everything. Switch to rich revs down the straight. Front left tyre is starting to go now. Wow, with the rich revs, went so much deeper into that corner. This car's so much faster with rich revs. It's catching me out completely, but we have put in... Oh no, it's slower. Yellow flag ahead apparently. Not too sure what for. Let's try a whole lap on rich revs then, shall we? If Marcus Ericsson wants to get out of my way. There's a lot of cars here now though, as everybody's coming out for their final attempts. But he doesn't get off the racing line either. Nope. Have to go for the overtake on a quali lap. It was a purple sector 1 though, which is good. Running the rich revs is helping. Get off my arse, Marcus. On a quali lap, just piss off. You're on an out lap. Come on, car. Whoa, real load of oversteer there. Engine's getting pretty warm. Trying to chase down a Williams. Catch them Willies. Wasn't a purple sector 2 though. Open DRS immediately. Brake slightly earlier than we did last time for this one. Now that we're going a little bit faster, which is good. There we go. Right, give me a purple sector 3. Give me a purple sector 3. 142.1 again. We seem to be very, very consistent with the lap times. I just can't seem to beat a 142.1 right now. Maybe that is the absolute pace of this car on these tyres at this track. Not sure whether these tyres will actually do us another flyer or whether we'll actually be too slow. Engine's getting very warm now. Yeah, we're 0.3 of a second slower. Looks like P8 is going to be the height of our qualification performance, and we'll see if anybody else overtakes us between now and the end of the session, but 142.1 seemed to be my absolute maximum there. We did 3 lap times that were 142.1s in a row. So I don't think, to be completely honest, we can improve on that. We haven't got the time to improve now anyway. The engine cooling down a bit now. Good.
Okay, you've fallen down the table. You're currently in P9.
Dropped to P9, now we've dropped to P10. Everybody's going quicker with the track evolution at this stage of the race. This stage of qualifying. But we aren't going any quicker, so we're just going to abandon this lap. Come into the pits and we'll see what happens. Now we're down to P11. Well, we must have reached the target of P11 then, because otherwise we wouldn't be getting this cutscene. So we're going to start from 11th place, just outside the points.
Qualifying performance from Mercedes today, with both cars on the front row for the race tomorrow.
Well, it's a great result for the team, and one that we were expecting from them. Tomorrow, they'll be expecting both cars on the podium if it all goes to plan.
So we are not as quick here as we were in Malaysia or Australia. Although, to be fair, we did qualify 11th in Australia as well, didn't we? So, not that far. There is a bit of a gap between ourselves and Fernando Alonso behind us, 0.3 of a second. We are quite close to Romain Grosjean, but then there's a big jump to the Toro Rosso, Max Verstappen, and then Sauber, Felipe Nasr. And then a huge gap to Daniel Ricciardo in the top 7. But Checo 15th, it's about where he's been, to be honest, recently, isn't it?
It's now time to sit back and relax and enjoy the show. It's time for the Chinese Grand Prix here in Shanghai. Driving one of those Mercedes to the top of the timesheets in qualifying was Germany's Nico Rosberg. He'll have made quite a few people sit up and take notice with that performance, not least his teammate Lewis Hamilton.
It's a little bit glitchy.
Over the first few laps, but he'll be
Very,
determined
very
not to let any
glitchy.
cars past him. If he can maintain that position once everything's settled down, he'll have a massive advantage and be able to control the race.
Lewis Hamilton described the win last time out as one of the best of his career. With the strength of that Mercedes this season, he has the perfect tool at his disposal to get more race wins.
Well, we all know how good Lewis can be when his mind is in the right place. He can be really hard on himself, though, when things don't go his way, but when they do, he's pretty much unbeatable.
Right. I am going to quickly go and use the toilet before we race. But we can either 3-stop or 2-stop here by going option prime or prime option prime. There's only 17 seconds apparently between race options, so I'm not sure which way we should go. I'm going to go to the toilet quickly, and then you guys can let me know in the chat which way you think we should go strategy wise, but I will be back in literally 2 minutes. BRB. Right, what do we think? What do we think? 2-stop, 3-stop? Seems to be quite split actually. Well, option prime, which is all of our remaining sets of option tyres, or prime option prime. It says 3-stop is quicker, but if that's the optimum, like in Malaysia we ran the strategy that wasn't the optimum strategy and it actually worked in our favour, so I'm tempted to do the same here again. If there's not much time difference between them, and we were able to really push the tyres in Malaysia, even though we had quite bad degradation. It is a tough decision to make. So I'd want us to go 7 laps. 7 laps on the options. 11 laps on the, yeah. I think I might go with 3 stops. Yeah, go on then, we'll go with 3 stops. Yep, we'll go with 3 stops. I'm going to have to quickly pause it and go back to full screen though, bear with. So obviously, yes, it's only a 50% length race, but the tyre wear and fuel usage are obviously accelerated to match that of 100% race. Here we go. Lights out and away we go here in China. A decent start. Grosjean's moved over on us. We've got the run on Verstappen, but I'm boxed in at the minute. I don't like this at all. I got boxed in by Grosjean. I wanted to swing to the inside there and I couldn't do it. We'll see if we can tiptoe our way around. We've got cars on our inside, so I can't pull up too tight. You see there's someone right behind me. Push. Let's see if I can get the run on Verstappen. I can't, so we're still in P11. We've got a bit of a gap back to Alonso now. Hopefully that McLaren... Bloody hell, that was off. Horrible. Hopefully that McLaren can cause a bit of a train behind us. That didn't do my tyres a lot of good. And fingers crossed we'll be able to pull away, because the McLaren won't be that fast. I'm tempted to dive up the inside of Verstappen there. Tried it. It is overcast. They said low chance of rain, so hopefully that means that we definitely won't get any. I'm going to look up the inside of Verstappen again, but I'm going to pull out of it for a second time. I can get into his slipstream here. We might be in with a chance at the end of the straight. He's going to have Renault power, and obviously we've got Mercedes power in the Force India. Sparks flying off that final curve, which is nice to see. Obviously no DRS until lap 3 as well. We're not going to be able to catch him. I can catch him under braking because he's had to brake earlier because of the amount of traffic in front of him. Felipe Nasr is doing very well in that Sauber, up in P5 or 6, having a good old battle with the Ferrari there. Lewis puts in the fastest lap of the race so far. Sparks flying off the back of our car. If we could just stay in touch. Very bumpy coming into turn 1. You see the sparks flying again. I love that. I love that they've got titanium plates back on the bottom and not wooden ones. It's great to see sparks back like that in Formula 1. Nasr getting caught by a couple of these cars. We could get a good exit here on Verstappen. I think he's missed a gear or something. He slowed up lows there. We have got the run on him. We did get the better traction, but is he going to... Is he trying to pay attention to what's behind me? Not paying attention to what's in front. He's right on my side. I love how racy the AI are this year. I had to drift slightly further wide and slow down a little bit because that compromised my line through there. We are up. Raikkonen's got ahead of Nasr and actually has lost another place to Grosjean as well. So is he on the... I thought for a second he was on the prime tyres there, but he's not. I think he's on the options. Let's be careful here not to run into the back of him though. And we'll dive up the inside. I'm locking up the rear brakes every time I do that. You'll notice when I'm under braking the car will spear to the left or to the right. It's because the rear axle's locking up. But we are on 4-3 stops, so we are going to have to make moves in traffic if we can. Verstappen's going to have the run on me here. I'm near boxed in, so we have to make sure we don't hit the back of Felipe Nasr as we brake for this corner. Give Verstappen racing room, but I'm forced wide and he's taken me. to get back in front of him now. Try and nail it around this final turn. Get the slipstream up into turn 1. Just like that. Force him wide. So that compromises his line for the rest of the turn. So that we can cut him off at the pass here and then get after Felipe Nasr again. We are in the points at present. Obviously points scored for up to 10th place. Again, the rear axle looking up on me. Getting some wear on the tyres already after 2.5 laps. Doesn't exactly fill me with confidence for the rest of the Grand Prix. I haven't exactly been the smoothest of drivers in his opening stages, so that might be my fault as well. Quick pull away from Verstappen and just, I want to get in touching distance of Felipe Nasr through the detection zone for the DRS, which is around this corner there. So we are within a second of Felipe Nasr and he's not within a second of the car in front of him, so we'll have DRS and he won't. Down this straight, sparks flying again. There we go, DRS open, Verstappen's coming for me. I may even have to go defensive into this hairpin, keep an eye on him, into the braking zone. Around. We've still got Verstappen behind us this time. And we should... No, we've not got DRS that time. We're over a second behind. Interesting to see which other cars follow the same strategy as us. Tyres wear so quickly around China, it's ridiculous.
Nasr's just ahead. Push for the position.
Well, I'm pushing. I have a certain Toro Rosso right behind me as well. The entire field is right behind us here, with Nasr at the head of the train. And then you've got the two Marushas, unfortunately. Two Marushas are kind of hanging back a full 2 or 3 seconds off the back of this train. Whoever's out in front is really out in front. You can see that one car just storming ahead of the rest. I don't know whether there's a slow car or slower car in front, in second, in front of like a train of Mercedes and Ferraris. Nail it round here. Hopefully we'll have DRS this time. We are closer to Felipe Nasr. We do have DRS, I'm going to use it. We are closing a lot quicker than we were the last lap. We'll dive down the inside and spin it round into turn. I don't know what turn number that is, the hairpin. He's got a good exit though, he's got a very good exit and he's back in front, Felipe Nasr. Very well done, sir. We should have DRS here again and we will definitely get him into turn 1 now. Same way we got, I almost called him Jos Verstappen there, that's his father. Same way we got Max, force him wide. Being very feisty though, Felipe Nasr, but I'm just going to make sure we get the place. And run it very tight around turn 2. Slow everybody up behind me, so we can burst out. I broke a little bit too early there. 4 seconds behind Grosjean now. The question is, can we pull away from Felipe Nasr and try and get after the Lotus, or are our tyres too far gone? Getting loads of oversteer coming out of those fast corners.
We have 40 kilos remaining. 40 kilos.
They're going to have DRS on me down this straight, so we are going to have to go defensive, I think, towards the bottom. Just keep an eye on my mirrors on the way down this straight. wait for the Silver to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, but he's not going to be close enough, I don't think, to make a dive for it. He's not, but he might be close enough. Down to turn 1, so we're going to have to be careful. Cut that corner kind of naughtily, but never mind.
Pit window is open. The pit window is open.
Okay. Now, do we pit this lap or do we pit next lap? Tell me, chat, on the way around, and I will do what you suggest. Tyres look like this, damage-wise. Obviously, go from yellow to orange to red. Let me know what you reckon in the chat, and then when I'm on the back straight, I'll be able to have a look and see what they're saying. We can pit this lap or next lap. A lot saying next. Okay, well we'll pit on lap 7 then.
Okay, remember to pit this lap.
Nope, I'm going to pit next lap. Because my chat said so. Sorry, Mr. Race Engineer. They're going to be right on my fucking backside down this straight though. I'm going to have to get super defensive. He's gone for the outside still. And I can't move back really. Jos Verstappen on the other side of me. I'm going to have to get very brave here, try to switch back. Oh, that might work perfectly. No, he's got better drive out of the corner than me. That nearly worked absolutely beautifully. Are they going in the pits? No, Nazar stays out. Everybody's staying out. And we got DRS down the straight to get back in his slipstream. Everybody stayed out. Try and force him wide again if I can. Because I don't want him to get the inside line around turn 2. There we go, that worked. Oh, I've got no bloody grip though going around there. You dickhead! What a knob! What a knobhead! Have a look at what happened here. I can flashback, and I will, but what a penis! Let me have a look at this from a different camera angle. What's the difference? It's just completely spun me off. And as if that completely broke the car. Let's have a look at that from onboard Felipe Nasr. He's just... I mean, did I not leave enough racing room there? I'm pretty sure I did. Pretty sure I left enough racing room there. And he's just gone for it. He's just gone for it. Well, I'm going to flash back to here. This time, we won't get spun out into the gravel. Thank you very much, Mr. Felipe Nasr. What a penis. Absolute penis face.
That's P9, 9th place now.
P9? Well, someone ahead of us has gone off as well then. Something's happened in front of us. Someone else has retired.
Situation bad. Consensus around the garage is they're not looking great. I don't think you're going to get much more out of them.
I'm not going to get much more out of them at all, no.
You need to pit in this lap.
I'm going to. My tyres are completely gone now. At least we know next time we pit, I'm going to have to pit on the 6th lap of the stint rather than the 7th because my tyres are just too far gone now. On the 7th lap of the stint. it's going for me. There's nothing I can do against Verstappen. I'm going to get boxed in here if I'm not careful. Try to switch back on one of them. There is contact there between Verstappen. They've spun each other. Verstappen spins Nasser. There was contact, and then there was contact again, and they spun each other out, and that caused a huge delay for everybody else behind them, and there's only 2 of us coming in the pits. Everybody else is staying out for another lap on those option tyres. You don't think I left enough room for Nasser? Oh, we had to wait for ages there for the Lotus to come past. That's cost us an extra second.
Okay, 2 stops left now. 2 stops.
Pit stops put us down to 19th, as everybody else has stayed out, but
Behind us just fitted the option tyre to the car.
I reckon the 3 stop was the quickest, so I will take the word of my engineers. I see you, Ben, don't worry, mate. But nobody could get past Nasser and Verstappen there as they made contact and spun each other. Right, so when does it say it wants me to come in on lap 13? Well, I mean, it depends what the tyres are like. If the tyres are as they were last time, I will come in on 13. If not, I'm going to come in on 14. I'll try and push it again. But it depends what the state of the tyres is. This is for position. Racing a Marussia, or Mana Marussia, for position. Oh no, there's a long way behind us there. I went into the pits, the CAG. That's why we're down in 19th. Don't worry, bro. I stopped for tyres. I've not just completely died and gone down to 19th. Now the man has gone into the pits. Is there anybody else in the pits? How many more have stopped? Loads have stopped. But there is still a big train in front of us though, so they're still going. A lot of them are still going on those option tyres. Surely they'll be getting really worn. Really pushing that opening stint, aren't they? The AI. Unless there were some of them on primes, but pretty sure a lot of them were on the yellow striped softer compound. Another Mana there. Will Stevens running up in 14th. Yet to stop though, obviously. We get the run on him. We'll have him down the straight for absolute sure, but not going to be very fast. Is he on the primes? I think they've run the primes, haven't they? Yeah. The Manners have run an alternate strategy. This is for position though. But we're going to have him. They're on the primes, so we're on the faster tyre. I'm going to be really cheeky and get DRS as well, so we're just going to storm away from him. It's so harsh. Obviously the detection zone is before the straight, so yellow flags. Something's happened. A lot more people in the pits. A few more stayed out. We're up to P9 again. So we go. Whoa! That's a very slow moving Williams. What on earth is going on here? It's got a puncture. Massa has a puncture. But Grosjean is just stuck right behind him because Grosjean's not got a front wing. What on earth is going on? Massa has a puncture, but Grosjean was stuck behind him without a front wing. Do you think they've touched? Do you think Grosjean's hit Massa? Grosjean's lost his front wing, and Massa has a puncture. What's Raikkonen doing here? He's going very slowly as well. He's gone off the track. Have you lost your front wing as well? He has. There's been a big crash again between the AI. The same thing happened at China, and it gifted. Same thing happened at Malaysia, sorry, and it gifted us 3 or 4 spaces, and it seems to have done it again. Don't know whether Massa got a puncture and then just rammed into the. I don't know what's happened. I wouldn't even like to speculate. We could maybe have a look in the replay. Was it lap 10? Remind me at the end of the race, when the replay is going, to have a look and see what happened to Felipe Massa and Kimi Raikkonen and Romain Grosjean on lap 10. But we're now P6. That's some extra points. The AI just go nuts, taking each other out 2 races in a row. That sort of thing will definitely need to be patched, I think. Oh, the tyres were sliding across the floor too much there. Didn't like that. Ricardo's 10.4 seconds in front of us. I don't know whether we'll catch him or whether he's going to be too quick for us. They are very quick, the Red Bulls. That's probably him there, gone round this turn. 10.0, we gained on him by half a second in the first sector. Probably Kimi, to be honest. No, the difficulty is on expert Kempo.
Someone's come off ahead of you. There's a yellow flag ahead.
Okay. Tyres are getting really worn again. We may have to come in on lap 13. So Williams.
Let's get back up to racing speed.
Oh, is that Massa still? He's not made it back to the pits yet. Still got his puncture. Oh mate, that is painful. Felipe, I'm so sorry you're having to go through that, bro.
Okay, options for your next stop. The window opens in 2 laps time.
He's only just made it back to the pits. Definitely going to stop on lap 13. .08 seconds to Valtteri Bottas. Don't know what happened to Ricardo, but we're up to 5th.
Predicting that Bottas will need to come in to change tyres within the next 5 laps.
I don't know whether Ricardo was in the pits. I didn't see as we went past. Wasn't paying attention, to be completely honest. Was too busy worrying about Felipe Massa. Did you see Daniel Ricciardo in the pits earlier? Oh, no grip. No grip whatsoever. We are going to have to go out for another lap just to make sure we have enough.
Under the 30 kilo mark in terms of fuel. We have 30 kilos of fuel remaining.
30 kilos is plenty. Just to make sure we've got enough tyre life in the next set of options and primes to make it to the end. I'm going to have to go an extra lap on these as well. To lap 13. Not that I want to, because I really don't have much grip left in these tyres whatsoever. Verstappen's probably closing on me. I don't know what the gap is, to be honest.
We expect the tyres are getting a bit warm at this point.
You expect correctly. 28 seconds to Valtteri, and the gap to Max is 3.5.
30 seconds ahead, 30-second gap to Bottas.
So Remember 3.5, that's what the gap to Max Verstappen is. See if it increases or decreases throughout the lap. We've lost some time on Valtteri, and Max has gained a couple of tenths on us. It's not too much. A couple of tenths isn't too much. As long as we can have an uninterrupted pit stop, we'll be alright to come back out ahead of him. Not when he stops for his next set as well. Oh, it just won't turn. Just would not turn then. Wowzers, that's going to cost us loads of time. Fucking tyres, man. It just would not go round that corner. Yeah, we're not going to catch Valtteri. It's not going to happen. If we were on a 2-stop, maybe we'd stand a chance if we had a couple of sets of primes. But, nah. Not going to happen. In we come. For another set of options. Quick stop, good. A 2.2 second stop, that's very quick. That will do us no harm whatsoever. Thank you very much. Anybody else coming? No. Right, so we're behind Marcus Ericsson again. When do we want to pit next? I'm not sure.
Fuel-wise, we have around 60% of our starting fuel remaining at this stage.
Yep. We'll stop again around about lap 20, I suppose. 19, 20. It's not changed yet. It still says 13, but I'm on lap 14, boys, so I kind of can't. No threat from the Marussians behind us. That shows how much we've gained in the last stint, because we came up behind Merry last time, didn't we? In 19th, and now we've come out in 15th, right behind 14th. We are going to have DRS down the straight. Question is, can we catch the Sauber? He's harvesting some energy because his red light's flashing. I think we're going to be just a little bit too far behind. Yeah, we're not close enough. We might get him down into turn 1 though, if we can get a good exit here, which we haven't done. We can get a good final turn though, which we haven't done. A little bit of frame rate lag going into there as well. I'm trying, but he's pretty quick in his Sauber. He's got a Ferrari engine, he's going very fast. Although he's pretty slow around here. It's getting a bit frustrating. I don't know what the state of his tyres is like. Does he still say... Oh, I'll have a look later when we get on the straight again.
The car behind you is fitting the option tyre. They're fitting the option tyre to the car.
God, he's so slow around here. He must have warm tyres. I'm gonna go for it up into this braking zone. Hey, stop, please, thank you. There we go. We're up into 13th. Although he's gonna have DRS on me now. Too busy looking behind me than where I should be driving. See, the pit thing now is blank. I'm not sure why. I will just make sure that we're coming in for primes next time. Oh, I went to go defensive there, but he'd already gone. But his tyres are gone, and he can't cope with... having to brake early because of his tyres. So we're able to just stay in front of him. Perez is...
He's one position ahead.
Yep, but he's coming to the pits. So, oh god, that was horrible. That was really bad. He's too busy looking behind me and looking at Perez. He's going for it again. He's going to get me this time. Unless we can force him wide by braking late. Contact. I tried to turn in and I wanted to push him a little bit wide if I could. Can't turn in if my car's there, buddy. Up to 12th again, right behind Ricciardo again. He must have pitted. He must have pit. Which is why we were able to get up into P5 again. 8.7, yeah, he must have just pit. That must be the only reason why we went ahead of Ricciardo. Because it was about 10 seconds before, wasn't it?
We have 25 kilograms of fuel left in the tank.
Good.
25 kilos of fuel remains.
I want to stop on I want to stop on 19 or 20 if I can. My car, you can make it round here in one go. One, there we go. Obviously, if you're new to the Twitch channel tonight, then feel free to hit the follow button to make sure you don't miss out on any further streams. I do stream a variety of different games, and we'll be doing so even more in a couple of weeks' time with afternoon streams as well as the evening streams. Oh, a bit of sliding across the top there. Won't do my tyres any good. Is Ericsson going into the pits? No, he's continuing on. This is that middle stint of the Grand Prix that gets a little bit solo-ish. You're not really near anyone as the strategies kind of play out in front and behind you. But there are going to be a couple of people that are going to go into the pits and come out around about us in a couple of laps' time. Still can't believe Felipe Nasr put me in the wall. I'm sure I gave him, like, it was borderline, but I'm sure I gave him enough racing room. Definitely pulling away from Marcus Ericsson now. And we're gaining on Ricciardo as well, 6.9 seconds to gap now. These options don't really last that long. I'm going to step it up into Rich once we switch to the primes. Because obviously the primes are going to be a little bit slower than the options, but if I switch to a Rich mix, it might be like running another set of options. People in the pits, Sainz, Nasr, and someone else. Wait, oh, Max Verstappen, Sainz, Nasr and Verstappen. We're up into 9th again. Daniel Kvyat in front of us. The Russian. Don't know whether he's been taken by his teammate. There are two cars next to each other there. Was that both Red Bulls there? I only caught the back end of Kvyat. I can see whether that was both of them.
Next, just 5 seconds
Yeah, but I can't see. There are three cars there. I swear one of them's Ricciardo as well. I think it's both Red Bulls, but I don't know who the third car is. big gap to Verstappen behind us, so I think we can safely say, as long as nothing goes wrong between now and the end of the race, we are going to finish inside the points. You're right, it is. Kvyat and, well, what I presume is Daniel Ricciardo going into the pits, all three of them in the pits. One of them is Alonso, are you sure? It should be us in P7, P6, behind Ricciardo again. Alonso and Button, both in the points in McLaren's, that's odd. The McLaren's clearly better on the game than they are in real life. Admittedly, they're still not very good in the game, but finishing in the points every time, ahead of the Red Bulls and the, or at least one of the Red Bulls. Daniel Kvyat seems pretty slow. And then finishing ahead of Toro Rosso's more often than not as well. When in real life, obviously, they've been kind of second to last, thanks to the manners. Occasionally they've pushed the Sauber slightly, but not really too much. Now, do I pit this lap, or do we pit on lap 20? I'm going to pit this lap, I think. Just, whoa, yeah, I'm definitely pitting this lap. Bloody hell. That was crazy. Just got no grip whatsoever there coming out of the exit of that corner and just completely lost it because we dipped one tyre on the grass. Yep, I'm pitting now, mate, so box this lap. Copy. I'm not going to push these tyres further as well because it just cost us time previously. Stop! Oh. Come in now. Verstappen's just taken Button. Right, prime tyres please, and then that should be us to the end. Thank you, prime tyres. We've lost a few positions in the pits though, so we're going to have to try and take those back. That's the difference between the 2-stop and the 3-stop, I think. Oh no, we're coming out in traffic. And I'm going to have cold tyres, and that's Massa and his Williams, although he's lapped. Massa's in the middle of this train of traffic, but Massa is actually in last place, and he'll be getting blue flags here. So he's going to have to let everyone go, because obviously he went a lap down with his puncture, but he seems to be trying to fight his way back through the field, if anything. I have cold tyres here, it's my teammate in front of me, so rule one of motor racing, don't hit your teammate. So we'll have to avoid Checo, but still try and get past him. And hope that these tyres last us all the way to the end.
The car behind is running on 4 reps and mix 3. He's going to attack.
What are your tyres like, Checo? I can't quite tell. Do we go for it? I'm going to. No, I'm not. I don't want to sideswipe Kvyat. We'll get him down the straight instead if we can, although I had a horrible exit of that corner. Sparks in the face. DRS, but he's going to have DRS on the car in front of him though, that's the only thing. Oh, I'm slamming the brakes on. We'll get them down the start-finish straight. We may even both get Kvyat. We might both. Someone's pitting behind us. We may even both get the Red Bull here. No, he's still quite quick in a straight line. Daniel Kvyat. Going really slowly here, Checo. I'm sorry. Just go really slowly, mate. Why are you doing that? So slow around the apex of these two corners.
Shows the tyres are okay right now. We anticipate good levels of grip for the next few laps at least.
Why do they go so slow around those apexes? slow here again and go up the inside of him. He's turned into me. I mean, I did probably surprise him. Didn't expect me to do that. When the gap's there, you've got to go for it. We are now in the points. Oh, we'll go for Daniel Kvyat as well. Oh, this is tight. I'll leave him racing room. No option but to. Bit of frame rate lag there, unfortunately. As we went through the corner. But up to rich revs now as well. Give me that DRS. Give me it, give me it. I didn't get it. Fine. I'll just take it thanks to Slipstream as well. And then Checo's going to take me. Oh, bloody hell. Teammate on the inside of me. No, he's behind me. Good enough. We're up into 9th. Time to chase down Felipe Nasr. How far ahead of us is he? We'll find out when we cross the start-finish line. They're going to have DRS on me here. No. Checo's gone in the pits for a fresh set of boots. Nasr is 6.4 seconds ahead of us. Can we close that down between now and the end of the race? Hopefully we can. No wear on the tyres yet, which is good. I don't know whether Nasr and that lot ahead of us have got a pit again. That's what I don't know right now. This is on PC. Playing on PC. With an Xbox controller. I should probably put PC in the title, shouldn't I, really? But never mind. Felipe. Coming for you. I don't know whether we're getting any closer though, that's the thing.
You're gaining a little as at each lap.
The engine's getting very warm. I'm going to have to switch back out of Rich.
Fuel level is now 15 kilos. There are 15 kilos of fuel remaining.
I don't want the engine to overheat, otherwise we'll just get a loss of power and then we won't get anywhere. We're 6.4 behind Felipe Nasr still, so it's about the same. Took 0.3 of a second out of him in that middle sector, or first and second sectors. You can hear the car scraping over the surface as we go along. I'm actually really looking forward to the Bahrain Grand Prix next, because that's going to be the first race we do under lights, and the game looks incredible, absolutely incredible at night under the lights. Honestly, the game is so pretty.
We're happy with the current tyre condition. They should last a while yet, so don't worry about them.
I'm not worrying. As they don't go on me towards the end of the race, because I would like to make a couple of positions if I can, but we're catching up on Nasr a little bit. Where is it now? 5.9. We're only just catching him. Engine's cooled down a bit, so I might switch to Rich again for a couple of laps.
Hamilton's in first place.
Tyres turn. Constantly worried about my tyre wear because there's still 4 laps to go. Still trying to close in on on Nessa. What was it, 5.9? We're pretty much even for pace, aren't we? 5.3 now, that's actually taken a big chunk out of him that lap, but I'm not sure whether... Well, we're definitely not taking enough out of him per lap to catch him, that's the only thing. Unless his tyres really drop off towards the end of the race. But mine are going to drop off a cliff in a lap or so's time as well. Engine's getting warm again.
NASA is 5 seconds ahead of you, 5 seconds.
We'll make it to the end of this lap on Rich and then I'll have to drop it back down again. We're getting painfully close to him. Like his car gets...
The fuel level is now at 10 kilograms. That's 10 kilograms of fuel remaining.
His car gets bigger and bigger every time we go through these sectors. With 3 laps and a long straight to go. Don't know whether we'll catch him or not. Here he is. Still lapping pretty quickly though. .9. We are closing up on him, but just not quick enough. Not quick enough to actually cause... I need him to make a mistake or his tyres to just die in the next 2 laps. Otherwise we're not going to catch him. Engine's cooled down again. I'll switch back to Rich halfway around lap 27. Like on that straight, on lap 27, on the next lap, I'll switch to Rich and then we'll run Rich revs until the end of the race. Oh, you can see him down the straight as well. Tyres are getting pretty orange. He's right there.
Hamilton has the lead. Mazza's lapping slightly quicker than us.
Yeah, he is. My tyres have died a lot quicker than his have, to be honest. see him, I just can't catch him. Come back, Felipe! Alright, we'll switch to rich revs for the end of the race. Oh, but if my tyres are going to do that to me in every single braking zone between now and the end of the race. It's not going to make any difference. Tyres are going to be a real handful on the final lap. A real handful. Oh, stop. Yeah, it's just pulling away from me. 5.3 seconds. It's been kind of between 4.8 and 6.3 the whole time. We're closing down to about 4.5 at the height, and Lewis has just crossed the line. Wow. We were only like 30 seconds away from getting lapped down in P9. Lewis must have been so quick in this race. Mercedes is so fast down that back straight. They get such good traction out of these slow corners that they're just no match for anyone else. Or no one else can put up a fight against them. They're just too quick. Unless someone crashes on the last lap, it's going to be P9 for us. Fortunately, it gives you 2 minutes after the winner crosses the line to go and finish. And there aren't any laps, any tracks, sorry, that, in the dry at least, that are longer than 2 minutes. So as long as we're on the lead lap every time, we will finish every race. Well, Alonso's just taken 10th. Alonso has just taken 10th down into the hairpin on the final lap. Wow. Max Verstappen, no, Daniel Kvyat is going to miss out on a championship point here, but we're going to get 2 for finishing 9th. So that's a 7th in Australia, a 5th in Malaysia, and a 9th in China. Not quite what the team wanted from us. They wanted an 8th, which was 3 places ahead of our qualification spot, but we'll take 9th. 2 points is better than nothing.
Lewis Hamilton has won today's race with an absolutely sublime drive. He looked very comfortable in his Mercedes this weekend, and it's rewarded him with 25 points.
They have been working really hard, and today they got their reward. Superb work from both the team and its driver.
After all that excitement, it's time for a lie down, I think. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye until the next race.
Kvyat actually got Fernando Alonso backlit. He actually got him back. Oh no, he didn't. Fernando had a 5-second penalty. Sorry, I've just seen that on the right hand side flashing at me. Fernando had a 5-second penalty. Actually, no, look at that. Plus 5 seconds, but if you take 5 seconds off his time, he actually was still 0.2 behind Daniel Kvyat. So I think Daniel must have gotten him back between the last corner and the first corner. You're right. Let's have a look at that replay then and see what happened on lap 10. Can I go any faster than this? I'm not sure, to be honest. Doesn't look like it. I'm just going to have to keep fast forward. Or can I? No. Just going to have to fast forward to lap 10. Let's actually go on board with Massa, shall we? Is that Massa? I don't know which one's Massa and which one's Bottas, to be honest. This is Bottas. Massa has a green helmet, doesn't he? Massa in this Brazilian helmet. Oh wow, that's weird. Let's go back to that camera. Yep. That just weirded me out. It was too fast. I was getting motion sickness. So what? I don't know whether Massa got his puncture first whether there was contact between him, Raikkonen and Grosjean that led to him getting a puncture. He's having his first pit stop. There, it's there. Hang on. So he's coming around here, everybody's gone into the pits. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Look, listen to the audio, and here where he has his... There, literally 200 yards, 100 yards, 50 yards past the pit entrance. He's had his thing here, so if we go... Oh shit. Oh wow, really? They both just drove straight into the back of him. Are you actually shitting me? Are the AI that retarded? Here's Kimi coming around behind Massa, who's got a puncture. Who's clearly slow, and bang. He legit just drove straight into the back of him and lost his front wing. And I bet Grosjean did the same. So Massa with a puncture going very slowly. Kimi drives straight into the back of him, and so does Grosjean. That is retarded. I mean, sooner rather than later, we will arrive on the scene. There's a Red Bull. And I think we come around the corner sooner rather than later. There's Massa. There's me in the background on the right-hand mirror. Not really knowing what to do here. Stuck behind, because there were yellow flags at this stage. There goes me around the outside, and away we go. That's actually ridiculous. What's he doing? What are they doing? That's so stupid. That is so stupid. They have to patch that. They have to patch that. Anyway, we'll take that. That's 2 points more for us. Unfortunately, Danny Ricciardo's jumped us. As has Sebastian Vettel. Was Vettel in front or behind us? I can't remember. So we are now 7th in the overall standings. It'll be Danny Ricciardo that's jumped us. Just Danny Ricciardo. So we're on 18 points now after picking up 2 there. And that means that Red Bull have gone up ahead of us in the Constructors as well. They're now on 25, whereas we're on 18. Checo Perez still to pick up a single point. Sergio Perez finished 16th. Oh no, he's in 16th. I don't know where he finished. Sorry, apologies, Sergio. But yeah, that's Bahrain done and dusted. I don't know what was going on with the AI there. That was absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But in the chat, tell me, what do you want tomorrow? Do you want more F1 tomorrow, or do you want me to go back to FM tomorrow? Put 1 in the chat for Formula 1, and put 2 in the chat for Football Manager. And then we'll decide what we're going to play tomorrow night on Thursday. One for Formula 1, 2 for Football Manager. It's very, very heavily in favour of Formula 1. Which is pleasing to me, because I've got a brand new game and I'd like to play it on stream, so the fact that you guys want to see me play it as well, and we're getting great viewer numbers as well, getting like over 300 to 350 each time we race at the minute, which is better than what I get with FM. So tomorrow night then, we will come back and we will race around Bahrain, and we will do the 4th race of this championship season. But for now, that's going to bring tonight's stream to a close. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I really appreciate all the support. Really, really appreciate all the support. You've been fantastic. We hit 75,000 followers. 75,000 followers. We hit 75,000 subscribers on YouTube earlier on today. And if I refresh, we may be very close to 15,000. We're only 80 or so, 75 or so away from 15,000 followers on Twitch as well. So thank you very much for watching, guys. That is going to bring us to a close. Been streaming for an hour and 45 minutes. And we'll come back tomorrow, 8:45 PM as per usual, and we'll do the Bahrain Grand Prix.